So you still think Nio is just a Chinese government-backed experiment that'll be dead in 5 years? Go ahead, keep believing that, because that's exactly the story BMW wanted you to buy into. That's the narrative Mercedes has been quietly funding. That's the comfortable lie every legacy automaker needs you to believe so they can keep selling you overpriced, outdated metal dressed up in German leather and false prestige. And here's the brutal truth they're terrified you're about to discover. While you were dismissing Nio, while the automotive press was writing their hit pieces and calling Chinese EVs a joke, Nio was engineering a complete takeover. Silent, surgical, and absolutely devastating. They weren't chasing Tesla. They weren't copying anyone. No. They were locked in their labs building something so outrageously advanced, so impossibly capable, and so aggressively priced that the moment the world finally stopped laughing and started paying attention, the entire game had already changed. Forever. Here's what nobody in the industry wants you to know. Nio just pulled the curtain back on their full 2026 lineup, and I promise you, by the time this video is over, you are going to be furious. Furious that you didn't know sooner. Furious that the media buried this. We're talking about a performance sedan that makes a Porsche Taycan look embarrassingly slow. We're talking about SUVs with technology so far ahead that Range Rover engineers are reportedly rethinking their entire roadmap. And the prices? The prices are going to make your jaw hit the floor. But here's the open loop that's going to keep you glued to this video. Why has every major automotive outlet stayed suspiciously quiet about what Nio just revealed? And what does this mean for every brand you've trusted for decades? Stay with me. Share this with every car enthusiast you know right now, because what you're about to see isn't just new cars. This is a complete collapse of everything the old guard promised you. Welcome to the best car channel on YouTube. This is ET5 Cars. Let's expose what the industry doesn't want you to see. Number 5. Nio ET5 2026. We kick off this list with the launch that's already giving European sedan makers sleepless nights. I give you the Nio ET5 2026, the electric sedan that refuses to play by anyone else's rules and arrives for 2026 completely sharpened, completely renewed, and completely ready to embarrass vehicles that cost twice as much. Nio did what they always do best. They took everything that already worked, everything that owners loved, and then they pushed it further than anyone thought was necessary. No gimmicks, no distractions, no experimental technology that sounds impressive at a press conference and then fails you on a Tuesday morning. Just raw, focused, brilliant engineering. And let's start where it matters most, the powertrain. Nio didn't touch what didn't need fixing. They gave the ET5 2026 an upgraded dual-motor setup delivering 536 horsepower with instant torque that pins you to your seat the moment you breathe on the accelerator. This isn't a system they just invented. This is technology that's been refined across hundreds of thousands of real-world kilometers, stress-tested in conditions that would destroy lesser vehicles, and proven to be virtually indestructible. And for those who need maximum range without the anxiety of watching a battery percentage drop, Nio's revolutionary battery swap system means you're back on the road in under 5 minutes. Not charging, swapping, something no European brand has even come close to replicating. Look at the design and you'll understand immediately why this car is turning heads everywhere it appears. The 2026 facelift brings sharper LED matrix headlights, a more sculpted hoodline, an aggressive widened stance, and body proportions that look like something a Hollywood studio designed for a sci-fi blockbuster. It sits on Nio's evolved NT 2.0 platform, and every line on that body has a purpose. This isn't designed for the sake of design. This is aerodynamic art. Inside is where Nio absolutely refused to compromise. A panoramic fixed roof floods the cabin with light. The dashboard wraps around the driver with premium materials that would embarrass some luxury sedans 3 times the price. The second-generation Nio chip handles the most advanced driver assistance system in this class, with real-time environmental mapping, ultra-precise lane control, automatic emergency response, and a learning algorithm that actually adapts to how you drive. It doesn't just assist you, it understands you. Now, the price.
Nio has positioned the ET5 2026 starting at approximately $45,000 globally. At that number, with that performance, with that technology, with that build quality, the Model 3 and the BMW i4 don't just have competition, they have a serious problem. Because when you offer this much car for that price, the conversation changes entirely. This is Nio telling the world they're not here to participate, they're here to dominate. Number 4. Nio EL6 2026. Hold on tight, because number 4 is the kind of launch that makes families cancel their Range Rover orders before the vehicle even arrives at the dealership. This is the Nio EL6 2026, the electric SUV that Nio built after listening to every single complaint, every single request, every piece of feedback from owners across the globe. And the result is something that honestly shouldn't be possible at this price point. Shouldn't be, but it is. Nio approached this model with a completely different mindset. They didn't want to build another luxury SUV that looks premium and drives like a disappointment. They wanted to build the SUV that a perfect engineer would design if money wasn't the first consideration. Capability was, reliability was, real-world usability was. And that mindset produced something extraordinary. Under the hood, they fitted the EL6 2026 with a dual-motor configuration generating 489 horsepower and a 0 to 60 time that puts most performance SUVs to shame. But here's what separates Nio from everyone's screaming power numbers at press conferences. This drivetrain has already been validated in the real world. Norwegian winters, Australian outback summers, urban stop-start traffic for years on end. It doesn't fail. It doesn't degrade the way competitor systems do. It simply performs, day after day, year after year, without drama.
The platform tells the full story of Nio's ambition. Rigid aluminum structure, intelligent all-wheel drive with torque vectoring, adaptive suspension that reads the road 1,000 times per second and adjusts before you even feel a surface change, and an air suspension option that lets the driver select between 5 distinct ride heights. 5 for an SUV at this price level. Let that sink in. The exterior design is unmistakably Nio. Flowing LED light signatures wrap around the front face. A sculpted roofline maintains an almost coupe-like silhouette despite the SUV dimensions. And the rear features a full-width light bar that makes every car behind you feel like they're watching something from the future drive away. Inside, the EL6 is pure luxury theater. 3-zone climate control, premium audio, a 12.8-inch curved AMOLED center display, a 10.2-inch digital driver cluster, ambient lighting with 256 color options, and seats wrapped in materials that feel more Bentley than budget. And Nio backs all of this with their over-the-air update system that genuinely improves your vehicle while you sleep. The pricing lands around $55,000 for the base configuration globally, a number so aggressive for what you're getting that several premium European brands have reportedly adjusted their own pricing strategies in response. This is what disruption actually looks like. Not loud, not flashy, just completely, quietly unstoppable. Number 3. Nio ET7 2026. We enter the top 3, and this is where things get genuinely uncomfortable for the legacy establishment. Number 3 is the Nio ET7 2026, the flagship sedan that Nio built to go directly at the jugular of the Mercedes EQS, the BMW i7, and every other brand that convinced itself that a 6-figure price tag automatically meant superior engineering. It doesn't. Not anymore. Not after this. The ET7 was already a landmark vehicle when it launched, but Nio looked at what they built, looked at what owners asked for, looked at where the competition was heading, and then went further than anyone expected. The 2026 version isn't a refresh, it's a statement that says Nio is no longer catching up to luxury, Nio is now setting the standard for it. The power system in the ET7 2026 is where heads start spinning. Nio installed a high-performance dual-motor setup, producing 644 horsepower with 850 newton-meters of torque, delivered with the kind of instant, linear, absolutely merciless acceleration that no combustion engine can replicate. 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds, in a full-size luxury flagship sedan, a sedan that seats 5 adults in genuine comfort, a sedan with a boot full of luggage. That performance figure in that vehicle class at this price is simply embarrassing for the competition, deeply embarrassing.
The ET7 2026 also introduces NIO's most advanced Aquila super sensing system yet. This is the hardware that industry analysts said was years ahead of what competitors were deploying. 33 high-performance sensors, including 4 high-resolution cameras, 1 ultra-long-range LiDAR, 5mm wave radars, and 12 ultrasonic sensors working together in real time to build a complete picture of everything happening within 500 meters of your vehicle. This isn't driver assistance, this is the foundation of full autonomous capability being built into the vehicle today, so it's ready for tomorrow. The interior of the ET7 2026 is where every legacy luxury brand should be taking notes, but is probably too proud to admit they need to. Nappa leather across every surface, panoramic glass roof that adjusts tint electronically, a 23-speaker Dolby Atmos premium audio system, individual executive rear seats with massage, ventilation, and a dedicated 8-inch entertainment screen per seat, a front passenger display for the co-pilot, and a digital ambient lighting system that transforms the entire mood of the cabin with a single command. Globally, the ET7 2026 is positioned starting around $70,000. At that price, with that technology, that performance, that interior quality, and NIO's battery swap ecosystem built in, the math simply doesn't work for the competition anymore. The Mercedes EQS starts at nearly double, the BMW i7 isn't far behind, and neither of them offers half of what you get here. That's not an opinion, that's arithmetic. Number 2. Nio ES8 2026. If you think number 3 was going to be the shock of this video, buckle up, because number 2 is the model that has entire families canceling 7-seater orders across Europe, North America, and Australia simultaneously. This is the Nio ES8 2026, the full-size electric SUV that Nio rebuilt from the ground up because they understood that the people who need a big SUV have been underserved by every automaker on Earth until now. Nio spent years studying exactly what a real family, a real working person, a real demanding driver actually needs from a large SUV. Not what marketing departments assumed they needed, not what focus groups curated by out-of-touch executives suggested, what real owners with real lives and real demands actually need every single day. And the ES8 2026 is the answer to every one of those needs. The numbers start with power. Nio fitted the ES8 2026 with a performance-tuned dual-motor setup, delivering 544 horsepower across all 4 wheels, with a torque vectoring system that distributes power between each wheel independently. In dynamic mode, this full-size 7-seater SUV hits 60 miles per hour in 4.9 seconds. In a car that fits your entire family, your camping gear, your dog, and your luggage, 4.9 seconds. Let that compete with a BMW X5M and then tell me the price makes sense for the German alternative. The ES8 2026 platform is the most sophisticated in this segment, full stop. Air suspension is standard, not optional, standard. The system reads road conditions, adjusts damper stiffness, manages body roll, and maintains composure across surfaces that would send competitors bouncing across the lane. Nio also introduced a new terrain management system for 2026 that gives the driver dedicated off-road modes for sand, mud, snow, and rock crawling. This isn't a soft roader pretending to be capable. This is a genuine all-terrain machine wrapped in luxury. The interior of the ES8 2026 seats 7 across 3 rows with what Nio calls zero-gravity seats in the front, ergonomically engineered to reduce fatigue on long journeys by distributing pressure the way an astronaut seat does. The second row slides and reclines with the kind of first-class cabin flexibility you'd expect to pay business-class prices for. And the third row finally, genuinely, comfortably fits adults, not children crammed into an apology seat. Adults with headroom, with legroom, with dignity. The Nomi AI system embedded in the ES8 2026 is the most human-like in-car assistant available in any production vehicle today. It learns your preferences, manages your schedule, monitors your well-being during long drives, and controls every system in the vehicle through natural conversation, not commands, conversation. The pricing for all of this arrives at approximately $65,000 in its global base configuration. Against the Range Rover S Sport, the Mercedes GLS, the BMW X7, this price is not just competitive, it's a provocation, a direct challenge that says your brand reputation is no longer justification for the premium you're charging, and the market is starting to agree. Number 1.
Nio ET9 2026. And now, get ready, because here comes number one. The Nio launch that has the automotive world divided between total shock and complete panic. This is the one, the flagship, the vehicle Nio saved for last because they knew once you saw it, nothing else on this list would matter quite as much. Number one is the Nio ET9 2026. And this thing is a statement so loud that Rolls-Royce, Mercedes, and BMW heard it from the other side of the planet. Let me be direct with you. The ET9 is Nio's clearest declaration of war against every ultra-luxury electric sedan on Earth. This is not Nio's attempt to compete with the Mercedes EQS or the BMW i7. This is Nio's announcement that those vehicles are now competing with them, because what they've built here at the price they're asking represents the most complete destruction of value perception in the history of the luxury automobile, and the industry knows it. The design of the ET9 2026 stops people on the street before they even know what they're looking at. A commanding full-size flagship sedan presence anchored by Nio's most dramatic and sophisticated exterior to date. A full-width illuminated front light signature that flows seamlessly into sculpted aerodynamic channels along the hood. Flush door handles that retract electrically. A roofline so perfectly proportioned that it achieves the impossible. The interior volume of a full-sized luxury limousine with the silhouette of a performance grand tourer. 21-inch wheels standard on the flagship trim, and a rear light bar so distinctive, so unmistakable, that people behind you on the highway know exactly what they're following before they read a single badge. But the design is only the surface, because the powertrain is where the ET9 2026 launches its most devastating attack on everything the legacy establishment built its reputation on. Nio's engineers developed a dual-motor setup for the ET9 that delivers 686 horsepower with a torque output so violent and so instantly available that the car reaches 60 miles per hour in just 3.9 seconds. In a full-size flagship luxury sedan, a sedan that rides like a cloud, a sedan that seats 5 adults as if each of them paid for a first-class cabin. 3.9 seconds. The Porsche Panamera Turbo does comparable numbers. It costs significantly more, and it doesn't come with what the ET9 offers inside. Not even close. And if performance is the weapon, range is the insurance policy. The ET9 2026 delivers over 680 kilometers on a single charge. 680 kilometers in a vehicle this size, this heavy, this powerful. That figure alone should end the conversation about whether Chinese EV technology is serious. It ended that conversation. The industry just hasn't admitted it publicly yet. Nio didn't just upgrade the technology in the ET9 2026, they completely reimagined what a luxury sedan interior should feel like in 2026. The cabin introduces Nio's most refined design language yet, built around what the brand calls Sky Ride, an environment designed to make every journey feel like you left the world outside and entered somewhere quieter, smoother, and entirely yours. Nappa leather across every surface. A full-length panoramic glass roof with electronically adjustable tinting that responds to sunlight automatically. A 12.8-inch primary AMOLED display, a dedicated co-pilot screen, and a rear passenger entertainment system that transforms the back seat into a premium lounge. Heated, ventilated, and massaging seats front and rear. A 23-speaker premium Dolby Atmos sound system, individual 4-zone climate control, and Nio's Nomi AI assistant embedded across the entire cabin, learning your preferences, managing your environment, and responding to natural conversation rather than rigid voice commands. The ET9 2026 also debuts Nio's most advanced autonomous driving hardware ever fitted to a production vehicle. The full Aquila Super Sensing Suite with LiDAR, high-resolution cameras, millimeter-wave radar, and ultrasonic sensors working in unison across a 500-meter awareness radius. Paired with the Atom supercomputing platform running over 1,000 TOPS of processing power in real time. This system doesn't just keep you safe,
It actively builds a live map of everything around your vehicle and makes decisions faster than any human reflex ever could. And because Nio pushes over-the-air updates continuously, the ET9 you buy today will be more capable in 12 months than the day it left the factory. You're not purchasing a static product, you're investing in a vehicle that grows with you. And now, the price. Nio has confirmed the ET9 2026 arrives globally starting at approximately $95,000, against the Mercedes EQS at over $130,000, against the BMW i7 at over $120,000, against the Lucid Air Grand Touring at over $140,000. The ET9 2026 doesn't just undercut them, it outperforms them, out-technologies them, and outlasts them, all while costing significantly less. That's not disruption, that's domination. This is the #1 Nio vehicle of 2026 because it doesn't just represent what Nio can build, it represents a turning point, the moment when the luxury automotive establishment can no longer pretend the threat isn't real. Every premium sedan maker on Earth looked at the ET9 reveal and had one urgent internal conversation. How do we respond to this? Some of them are still figuring that out, and that silence, that scrambling, that quiet panic behind closed boardroom doors tells you absolutely everything you need to know. So there you have it, 5 Nio models for 2026 that aren't just competing with the best in the world, they're rewriting what best actually means. The ET5 turning the premium sedan segment upside down, the EL6 making family SUV buyers question everything, the ET7 dragging flagship luxury into a new era, the ES8 finally giving full-size families what they actually deserved, and the ET9 arriving like a thunderclap that the entire industry is still recovering from. Nio isn't the future of electric vehicles anymore. Nio is the present. And if you want to see which other brands are scrambling to respond to this revolution, I'll leave you the next video right now. Click it, watch it, because this story is just getting started.